You never think it will happen to you until it does. That's a response from a Rockford-area resident after her car was broken into at a local forest preserve. WIFR reporter Alyssa Kelly meets with that resident and local sheriff, who says even at spots like forest preserves, belongings need to be out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, Mike, according to conservation workers across the state line, car break-ins at forest preserves are a cause for concern, especially during warmer weather and challenging economic times. What started as a peaceful walk at her local forest preserve,
I would have never thought in a million years about this happening.
Turned into more than $1,000 in repairs following a car break-in.
30 minutes later, I come back around and I'm done, and I come out and my car window was smashed.
Rockford-area resident Jan Fadness says while most of her belongings were accounted for, both her coach purse and wallet were missing.
My first instinct was get out of there.
Fadness emphasizes this is something residents in the area need to be aware of, with hopes this does not happen to someone else.
I was like, you don't really think about these things until it happens to you.
Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana says one of the best ways to avoid car break-ins is following those basic practices. Put your belongings in the trunk and even put a blanket over it. He says out of sight, out of mind is key.
Anywhere you go can be a situation, right? You're walking through a parking lot at whatever, Target, Walmart, Schnucks, whatever. Be aware of your surroundings, always.
Caruana adds, if you see something suspicious, say something.
They should call, because when they call, maybe we can connect the dots. Maybe we're looking for that person, and that just helps.
Next time, my purse is not going to be in my vehicle. Whatever I have is going to be on my person.
Authorities say don't leave spare keys in your vehicle because an experienced thief knows all the hiding places.
Thank you, Alyssa. And if residents ever have property taken from a vehicle, they should call the police immediately and provide a complete description of the vehicle and any property taken from it.